What's up, YouTube? Hope you guys are doing well. Also, I hope you're enjoying your Memorial Day weekend. So I want to give a big shout out to Angry Turtle and Goob. Couldn't have this build without them. They're great guys and have great content. Go check them out if you haven't already. Um, they're phenomenal. But anyways, are you guys looking for a build that doesn't require low health or crouching all day? I mean, I'm a little bit older. I need to stand up sometimes. Are you looking for more XP and more junk with having to play all day? Are you looking for a build that doesn't require power armor or hunting for fusion cores? Are you tired of repairing your weapons and armor all the time? I know I am. Are you tired of being over encumbered all the time? If so, I believe I have the ideal build for you. So this is my Vampire Explosive Commando tank build with high intelligence and weight reducing perks. My primary weapon is the Vampire Explosive Handmade with a forceful stock to greatly increase the weapon condition. Also good for bashing damage daily ops. I always leave Gunsmith and Weapon Artisan equipped and rarely have to repair my weapon and go through a ton of bullets due to the automatic barrels. So still sell those stim packs and cash in those XX bullets because this is a good build. Back in the day, this build would have been a grind due to the ammo, but now with fully maxed ammo perks of the regular and the legendary and super duper ammo is certainly not a problem. I use Bandolier to reduce the weight of the ammo, and that is the only equipped weight reduction perk I use. The rest of those come with my armor sets. It's a great way of not using those perk points and saving them for other things. But in this build I use health. I use ammo for health in this build because of Ricochet and the Vampire perk. It is a tank outside of any power armor. I do use max level Secret Service with some of the buttressed perks. But you could get that pretty easy by doing the Wastelanders DLC. I did have to roll out a lot of armor with the legendary modules, but it wasn't that hard to get what I wanted because I don't use full sets of anything. You only really need one of the specific armor types to have the effect, like one chameleon and one life saving. And if you want a full set, I mean, more power to you, but it will be a grind to get what you want. The weeks of grinding do add up sometimes, and it's too much sometimes. But hey, I'm not going to tell you how to play your game. But I prefer life saving, bolstering. That's great for when you're about to die. And chameleon I use when taking over workshops. That way I can kind of sneak around when I need to. But I also wanted weight reduction armor. Like I said, it's better not to use the perk points. That's something both Goob and Angry Turtle have mentioned. But I have two pieces that grant 20% each of the weapon reducing. And I also believe that's stacked, but I'm not too sure. But I believe Angry Turtle said it does stack. Also wanted one for food and drink. And one for junk items. That way when you scrap you can go to the next event without having to always go and do your scrap box or find a box to put your stuff in. I also wanted one that granted AP boost and offered limb damage perks, just because sometimes with the limb damage it can hurt your arms and you can't shoot, and with this type of build if you can't shoot then you will die. But I now use the grocer's book bag that has 90% reduction for food and water, but sadly that doesn't stack with any of my armor pieces, but it's well worth it. And I've already rolled all the armor that I'm going to. I got because I rolled so much of it, I got 3 pieces for super mutants. I got 3 pieces for robots, So when I go and do those daily ops, I grab my super mutant pieces or the troubleshooting pieces. That way those enemies do less damage. And I'm thinking about trying to get maybe some assassins now that they've added more human enemies in there. But we'll see. I have about 90 or so legendary modules to use. I want to have at least 100 for the next update. That way I can roll some of the new weapons, with legendary modules. But as I showed earlier, my special stats, I got strength of 10. I get one of those from the armor perks, and I get extra from the legendary perks. I have a perception of 17, an endurance of 9, charisma of 22. I get 1 extra for the armor, and then extra from the legendary perks. I have an intelligence of 30. I get 1 point from the armor, and then extra with the legendary perks. Intelligence is key for XP. If you want more XP, the trick is to have more intelligence. I have agility of 14, and I do use Marathoner and Action Boy. That's the only thing that I really use. And a luck of 15. So I've heard that helps with getting legendaries. I don't know. I've also heard a high charisma build helps with getting some rewards, but I haven't confirmed that. But Goob, he's more of a balanced player. If you ever watch him, he doesn't really go for one type of build, and he is right about it. I mean, the more you go for a certain build, the less perks you have for anything else, and so you have to sell out basically for that build, and that might be great at the time, but if your preference changes or if you needed something, you have to make some sacrifices. So I've worked on this build for about a year now. I love it. You don't really need a handmade. It's just something I prefer, just because of the weapon condition. It has one of the highest weapon conditions, and it has one of the best recoils of the Commando automatic weapons. Some weapons you'll be looking at the sky if you shoot off a whole round, so that's not fun. And you really don't need explosive, but if you want explosive, any Commando explosive will work. Even if you couldn't get an explosive weapon, the build will still work, because you'll just need more shots. But the Commando is the best for the vampires build, because it only gives you a very small portion of health back. So if you're doing like melee, if you have a high damage melee, it's not really going to work for you, because you're not going to get a lot of vampire health points back. And that's why the Commando works, is because it takes a lot more shots. The more shots means the more health. So ultimately, the less damage you do, the more health regen you get. I was tired of repairing my flamer, and I was always hunting for supplies to repair, so I traded it for the handmade. I was able to trade my previous armor set before the Wastelanders update for explosive laser. I rarely use it, just in ops when I have less than 20 seconds left to kill the boss to get the Elder level. I'm trying to trade it for junk, so if you're on PS4, send me an offer. I'll definitely listen. And, feel free to steal this build. Like I said, I didn't come up with it on my own. Again, big shout out to Goob and Angry Turtle. They have been great at this game, and they have incredible insight. Go check them out. But the rest of this video, I'm going to show you the build in action. I'll show what I can do against Super Mutant, which has the highest, one of the higher enemies. I did it in Rad Rumble with the stealth suit, but I didn't go into stealth, just to show how powerful it can be in a weaker armor and then against some weaker enemies. So go and enjoy. But thank you for taking the time to watch this vid. I certainly hope you guys have a great Memorial Day. See ya.
raptor unit occurs.
Today, 57 degrees. Tonight, north side covered with a low exposure.